Hey everyone, welcome to the Weeb Lounge. This is a list of characters for Princess Connect Redive that you should be spending your hard-earned jewels on. However, everybody's situation is a little bit different. This isn't necessarily a top 10. This isn't necessarily a end game. This is a smart play. These are what you should be rolling for during your whole career during Princess Connect Redive. Alright guys, there are a lot of characters out there to spend your jewels on. Some of them are pretty pointless to do so. Some of them are really necessary for you to advance to all the high-end stuff. So let's just kind of get into it, and I'm not just going to cover the end game types deal. I'm going to act like you just started. In all reality, I'm going to act like you just started and just kind of go from there. There's no specific list, there's no specific order, but I'm going to tell you why these characters are good, and hopefully you got the jewels saved up for when these come around if you don't already have them. All right. Now, I have my little screen open up here, and you can see that I have a multitude of characters, right? But so many of these characters, even though they could be good, I just don't use. And some of them I've spent a lot of my jewels on to get, only to realize later on, they weren't all that special. Like Summer June, for example, or whatever. It's a decent character, but doesn't really fit in or excel at just about anything. It's a good character to have and throw in, but no real place for her. And I spent a lot of my jewels getting this character, got her to 5-star, maxed her out, and then just didn't use her. So don't do what I did there. All right, now the first character I really want to go over, and I'm doing this intentionally, is Pecorine Princess Edition. Now, she is a tank, but she is not the best tank in the world. She is DPS, but she's not the best DPS in the world. She can heal herself. She has good survivability, but not the best at it in the world. So why the heck do I really like this character? This character is absolutely freaking awesome, especially if you're just starting out the game. Now, if you're just starting out and the Prefest Gacha is up, which a lot of these characters are going to be on that, which is why in another video I told you to save your jewels for it. That aside, if you have this character really early on and you work on her early on, she could be your primary DPS. She could be your primary tank. She can keep herself alive while the rest of your team just drops over dead. This character is basically OP for the early game. And having her in your group real early on is going to let you progress much further, much easier, much quicker. So this is definitely a character that you want to get. Now, does that mean she's completely worthless at the end? No, she absolutely is not. She is still a good tank. She is still decent DPS. She is still that good all-rounder even at the end game. So it's not like you're going to level her up, get through a few levels, and then just like toss her to the side. No, you're not going to do that. You're going to be using her fairly consistently, whether it be hard mode quests, very hard mode quests, some boss, some lunar towers, whatever. She is an all-rounder, will come in handy at everything. Not the best at anything, but also not the worst by any means. She really comes in handy. Now, let's see who to go with next. Kokoro, Princess Kokoro. She is widely regarded as like one of the absolute freaking best characters, period. Now, some guides actually say you don't want to rank her past like 14 or 16 or something like that. It's when you're trying to min-max stuff. Me, personally, I don't really care much for that. I just want really high-end characters. That's just me. If you're trying to min-max, you might want to stop at 14 or 16 or look that up or whatever, but I'm not going to do that. Why is she so good? AoE buffs, attack buffs, defense, and most importantly, an AoE heal. A heal that really persists. And it stacks. I've seen it stack. So she gets her heal out. Everybody just starts ticking up. And if she gets another one off before that one runs out, it'll double up. It'll double tick. And she is just widely regarded as an insane healer. And with those heals, it's not just little heals here and there. The attack buffs, and the defense, and the other stuff she does, it's all good all around. Now, if you happen to be lucky like what I did when I first got into this game, is about when Princess Kokoro came into being, okay? So, not all that long ago. I was lucky enough to get Princess Pecorin and Princess Kokoro pretty much side by side as I was advancing through all the normal storylines. I had no trouble at all. None whatsoever. Them two, I threw a few other characters in the background, and you know, the two princesses here just kind of mopped up. So Princess Kokoro is definitely a top tier, and she is good just about anywhere. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're doing Luna Dungeon, it doesn't matter if you're doing, you know, Arena, just going through the quest or whatever. She's good pretty much everywhere, and I can't express just how awesome this character is. You will use her at the very beginning for low tier stuff, at the end, you know, for doing the absolute hardest battles or the dungeons, whatever. She's good. Okay, I'm gonna stop because I can get carried away there. Now, there's another character that, unfortunately, when she comes up to get, it's fairly rare. She's considered a summer event character. Summer Sailing. Why is she so good? Oh my god. Okay. Speeds up the characters. TP, not toilet paper. Technique point increase. Helps you recharge. And her offensive buff, a lot of characters will give a physical offense buff or a magic offense buff. That's the kind of the two categories that most characters are in. And she gives it all around. So it doesn't matter if it's a magic group, doesn't matter if it's a physical group, she can work in it. She's really good in arenas, and overall, in terms of being a support character, she's one of the absolute, if not the best support characters there is. And I have a bangle I can put on her. I'm gonna do that. Put that on. Now you see I have her at rank 14. Now it's another one of those characters where they recommend having like rank 14, 16, somewhere around in there, so that she just gets her ability off more and more and more and more. It's some kind of optimizing thing. Am I going to be sticking to that? Well, probably not. Like I mentioned before, I'll probably max her out, but that's just me. If you're trying to min-max, look into it for yourself. Another one right here, Anika. Just get her. Like, seriously. In terms of magic caster, she's ridiculous, okay? She summons a duplicate of herself that has like pretty much the same health, same everything, same damage, same whatever as her. So it's like almost having two characters on the screen when she has that up. And once she starts rolling that out, it's pretty persistent. It'll stay up and stay up and stay up. It's not really going anywhere. And she also has like defense debuffs. She has a range stun skill. There's a whole bunch of stuff she has, and she puts down a little field. Okay, that gives a wide range of buffs as well. You know, typically magic damage caster buffs, you know, a little bit of speed up or whatever, just random whatever when she does her ultimate. Because you'll notice she does her ultimate, she summons her clone, but it leaves a little pile on the ground, just like Kokoro does with her AoE summon, her aura. And she works in any group. She really does work. You can create a whole physical group and then just slap her in the back. And my God, her firepower will still be pretty damn good. Of course, she's better off in a caster group, but, you know, when I'm going around doing stuff, you know, I'll have like Princess Pecorin, Princess Kokoro, Chris, Summer Sailing, and then I'll throw Anika in the back because why not? She is good literally at anything that you do. If you get her early on, she will DPS the hell out of everything. If you don't have her yet and you get her later on and she's excellent at endgame, she's probably one of the few like triple S ranked characters that is good in every field. So a lot of people actually regard her as the absolute best character to get because she can do anything. All right, let's get out of that. Now, Chris, I was kind of going to be like, okay, you should really get her. And early on, she's pretty good. In the arena, she's good. But other than that, you know, she can pump out some really good DPS. She charges up her technique really, really quick, especially if you have her weapon equipped. If you don't have her weapon equipped, it doesn't charge up so fast, but still pretty decent. Basically, if you want a good, solid DPS, Chris is a good one to go to. If you're wanting to get really high in the arenas, Chris is pretty one to go to. But when it comes to like your standard fights, Luna Tower, stuff like that, she can be all right, but there's other characters that can do a little bit better. And that's why I'm going to go Muimi. Now, Muimi is just an offensive beast. I mean, you know, I should probably look up her thing real quick here because she just murders the hell out of people. Like, seriously. Now, Muimi has two downsides. One, her initial charge for her ultimate is kind of slow. It takes a little bit. And two, she's a glass cannon. What that means is she has ridiculous firepower, but can also sometimes drop fairly easily. However, if you have her 5-starred and her weapon and, you know, leveled up all to hell, there are instances where she can be the tank. The tank! Okay, let me show you a little something. I don't think I can get into it, but you know the dungeons here? The Extreme 3? Now, I can't go into it to show you, but at the top of Extreme 3 is this dragon. Big old green dragon, has 3 different hit points, 3 different places where you can hit, okay? Muimi tanks it. You get her leveled up high enough, geared up, you know, max her the hell out. She tanks that dragon. And the amount of damage she does, I had her do just shy. I haven't been able to kill the dragon yet because I don't have the other parties I need. But in one fight, her alone did just shy of 10 million damage. Takes proper group though. I ain't gonna lie, it's not just Muimi. Muimi does need a little bit of help. So basically what she does, she has like a little knockback ability. You know, she can kind of force people to move back and kind of group up more and more. And I kind of like that because you group them up. Muimi also has kind of AoE attacks, and AoE attacks are nice. Let me go into this real... Oh. The downsides of using a mouse. Now, when she does her ultimate, you know, you see her her sword just turns into like the Thundercat sword. You know, it's a little tiny ass dagger, and it says "ho," and it turns a big old broadsword and murders people. Right? That's what she does. She's Lion-O. Okay, not really, but she is. She breaks out this giant ass greatsword. And the initial hit does a little bit of damage. It's nothing spectacular, you know, it's just kind of like an effect, really. That's not where the damage is at. Because while her technique points start to drain slowly, but when she hits, it generates. And if you have other characters in the group, it generates even more. And, you know, she'll do a jumping, spinny, fucking whatever the heck it is, and just murder the hell out of people. She'll do this swipe that will hit like everything on the screen almost. And all of it is like ultimate damage. It's like she's constantly doing, you know, UB, you know, Ultra Breaker, whatever the heck it is they call it. She just murders the hell out of people. And that's why on the dragon, she's hitting and breaking all the weak spots. She's hitting and doing massive damage constantly. And when she acts as the tank and takes damage, it generates that TP back up. So even though it's starting to drain, it goes boop, boop, oh, boop, boop. And the other crazy thing is when she has her ultimate out, she heals herself with the hits. This character is a no-brainer. Now, you throw her in the arena, she's probably going to die. I'll be honest, she's not very good in the arena, but if she does get her ultimate off and can keep it out for a while, she'll murder the other team. But keeping her alive before anything gets crazy in an arena, she doesn't work very well there. Now, I mentioned that Muimi needs to have like a proper group to go with her, right? She needs proper buffs, and that's where Labby comes in. Another Prefest. The Princess Fest Gacha is where it's at. Save your jewels. If you ain't got any of these characters yet, or you need more, save. I can't stress that. Labby, Labyrista. Okay, Labby, it's Labby. She is an incredible support character. What the heck does she do? Okay, it's all basically about physical damage. Okay, She's going to buff up your physical damage. She's going to buff up the crit damage that you do. Not necessarily crit chance, but the level of crit damage that you do. And believe me, it is very significant. She is the reason Muimi could do almost 10 million damage against a big old dragon, because she sits in the back, buffing the hell out of everybody and just getting nuts. All right. Now, her ultimate is one of these ones that is just kind of weird, and I'm actually kind of real time in some of the information here. Now, her ultimate increases physical attack power and the physical crit amount, right? And here's the thing. She expands, it's a field expansion and everything. It's kind of, you don't really see it. But here's the weird thing. She generates her technique points, and then she casts that buff, okay? And then as it charges up again, she doesn't cast it again. Instead, it's like a release. And when she releases it, it does like this massive amount of AoE damage to everything on the screen. So it's like you have to charge it twice in order for the damage to happen. But you're not bringing her in for the damage. You're bringing her in for the buffs, especially with Muimi. And she works with someone like, you know, if you have 6-star Hiyori, my God, it works just as well. So like Hiyori, Muimi, Labby, and a few other characters again going against that green dragon, it's murder. It is absolute murder. And there are some other characters that you can get that are just kind of like, okay, it's all right. But those characters are probably the ones that you should really, really go for when you're spending jewels. You know, you have like Princess Yui here. She's magic damage, AoE is actually really good. And there are some hard mode and very hard mode quests that I had that when I used her, she came in really handy. Even in the arena, she can be somewhat of a beast, but she's not the top tier of like any of that. Okay. She's good to have if you can get her, because she's in the Prefest too. And like all these other characters, they're all in the Prefest. It's good stuff. But you know, what about some of the other characters, like the ones that I haven't leveled up and everything? Well, what I did is I kind of found a guide to guide me. Like I'm trying to guide you guys right now. So characters that I have down here, it doesn't necessarily mean they're bad. Like in the, I can't remember. It's not arena. There's one thing where this character is like super good at and then sucks. And this character, you know, she's can be really good DPS, go with a few other characters. Rima. Like this character, you'll just never use except for arenas. I mean, it's a tank, but arenas is where it's at for her. She's a little nutty. Just saying. And Halloween Mimi here, she's good in the arena, and you know that's about it. I mean, there's places for her, but those, if you're just trying to get through the story, if you're just trying to build a really good team, those characters that I mentioned, see, Pecorin, Princess Edition, Kokoro, Princess Edition, Swimsuit Sailing, Anika, Labby, Muimi, and to a lesser degree, a few of the others I mentioned, they're really going to help you out. Now, for 6 stars, that's in another video. I'll have to save that for some other time. And until then, like, subscribe, hit that notification button. I'll have more little tips and tricks about Princess Connect Redive, ReZero, Water Index, which has the Shana event coming up like in a few hours here that I'm going to do a video on. Oh, man. So that video will actually probably be out before I post this one because internets. We'll see you in the next video.